Hi everybody, and welcome back to Teachers Talk Money, where I help teachers master their money in order to give back to themselves. While most of the people that follow me on YouTube and social media or follow my blog are teachers, I have quite a few people in other career fields who also follow along to just get some money advice, which is awesome. And one of the questions I get most commonly is, how is it possible for me to keep a consistent monthly budget if my income changes each month? This is a big obstacle to contractors, freelancers, people who have seasonal work, creatives, small business owners, many of whom live with the limiting belief that it's impossible to keep a budget if your income changes month to month, and this is simply not true. Not only is this not at all the reality, but it's actually quite a dangerous belief, because not only is it possible for people with a variable income to budget month to month, but it's actually a lot more important. With a consistent income, it's a lot easier to internalize your spending caps, or at least know how much money you're taking in and make sure not that much money is being spent month to month. So you can, and most people do, make their lives work even without keeping a budget, although this is not at all optimal. Of course, you guys already know that I'm going to tell you that. With a variable income, however, your categories are constantly in flux and always changing and always in need of evaluation. Obviously, I don't recommend flying blindly to anyone, but if you have a variable income, it has the potential to be a lot more disastrous if you're not keeping close track of your finances. So, how can you budget if your monthly income is always different? We're going to talk about two really important and complementary sort of steps and ideas that people use to budget with a varying income. The first thing you need to do is determine a low estimate for what your monthly income will be. My suggestion is to look back at the last 6 to 12 months, determine what the lowest number you brought in for a month was, and budget based on that number. That way, all of the money above that, a certain percentage can go towards spending and a certain percentage can go towards saving, investing, paying off debt, or whatever other big long-term goals you have. Obviously, there are factors that complicate this. If you're a seasonal worker, it's not necessarily going to work for you to just look at the lowest income that you brought in a month, because that might actually be zero. If you are somebody whose work is seasonal, you're going to want to take a look at what you earn annually and divide that over the 12 months. That's more of a rationing thing than just sort of somebody whose income is pretty different month to month. Now, here's what you should be putting that quote-unquote extra money above that lowest amount towards at first. And this is your emergency fund. If you have an income that changes every single month, it is even more important for you to have emergency savings. This way, if your income suddenly tanks, you are not all of a sudden going further into debt. So, just to recap, the first thing you're going to do if you're a variable income earner is take a look at the last 6 to 12 months, determine the lowest amount you earned in a month, and budget based on that, and have a plan percentage-wise for whatever money that comes in over that amount. So maybe that's, you say you're going to put 80% of that towards your bigger goals and 20% of that towards discretionary spending. Whatever you determine, as long as you stick to those percentages, is fantastic. Now, there is a higher next level of budgeting with a varying income that is extremely awesome, extremely on point, will help you reach your goals so much, but will take you some time to achieve. This is called living off of your previous month's income. Again, don't start here. Start by budgeting based off of the lowest amount you received in the last 6 to 12 months. But your goal should eventually be to start living off of your previous month's income. Highly recommendable goal. So how does it work? You want to start by creating a separate savings or checking account than the one you link your debit and credit cards to. This new account should be in your same bank to make transfers easy, and you can call it something like last month's income or buffer or whatever you'd like to name it. You should work over time to build this up to that minimum amount you determined for the last 6 to 12 months. Then you can start by transferring the total amount from that account to your regular checking account to use each month. Then, as you earn money in that month, that income goes straight to that buffer or last month's income account, and that is what you will pay yourself with at the beginning of the next month. There's a couple beautiful things about this. Number one is that living off of last month's income is essentially the same as having a 1-month emergency fund in addition to whatever other emergency fund you've built up. This is really important for variable income earners because it provides so much extra wiggle room and so much extra buffer for the months that you might bring in less income than you expected. It is also beautiful because you don't have to time your bills and your deposits to saving or investing accounts at all. You can simply put that money directly into everything you need it to at the beginning of the month. And so you don't have to worry about when those different payments are coming in month to month, because we know, especially for variable income earners, that that can be a wholly unpredictable and difficult thing to plan. So instead, right away at the beginning of each month, you can put away your money into savings that you've designated there. You can pay your bills for that month, and then you can sit pretty and use the rest of the money as you see fit. So to recap, there are 2 things you want to do as a variable income earner to start budgeting. The first one is budget based on the lowest amount that you've earned in the past 6 to 12 months. And then have a plan for all the money above that. That is based on percentages. So maybe you're designating 70% of any income above that lowest amount to savings and 30% to discretionary spending, or whatever you see fit. And then number 2, your next level financial goal for budgeting on a variable income is to slowly over time get to a place where you can live off of your previous month's income in the current month. And this way you have a 1-month basically emergency fund or buffer, and you don't have to worry about when any of your payment is coming in. Instead, you just pay everything off at the beginning of the month. Again, the second one is definitely a next level money move, but it is a hugely important and recommendable goal to get to in the near future if you're a variable income earner. I hope you guys got value out of this video. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. Please make sure to like this video, comment, and subscribe. And of course, if you are starting to budget on a variable income or otherwise, make sure to get my free budget templates in the link of the description of this video. Have an amazing week, you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye!